The executive leadership team has exactly 90 days to launch the new EcoBlend appliance, and they are demanding the impossible. They want rock-bottom operational costs, lightning-fast delivery, and zero risk to the timeline. Enter Logi, the lead supply chain architect. She delivers a harsh truth. You cannot retrofit a broken supply chain after the product goes live. It has to be intentionally designed right now. Before laying down a single mile of physical network, the executives need to answer one question. What do EcoBlend buyers actually value most? Is it next-day delivery or the lowest possible retail price? That specific requirement is the customer promise, and it dictates every decision that follows. This map shows the initial rollout targets. Notice the heavy, rapid demand concentrated in dense cities, compared to the sparse, intermittent orders scattered across rural pilot regions. Standard planning often attempts to spread inventory equally across all locations. If they do that here, they will bleed cash maintaining empty warehouses in the rural areas and completely run out of stock in the cities. A system designed without a specific customer promise will collapse trying to be everything to everyone. Logi starts with the physical architecture. The team must decide whether to store the EcoBlend in massive centralized hubs or scatter the inventory across dozens of smaller local warehouses. This scale illustrates the total logistics concept. Cheaper centralized storage triggers expensive final mile delivery. Optimizing one metric forces trade-offs. The same applies to sourcing. This chart compares 3 suppliers. Factoring in hidden delays and defects, the cheapest supplier becomes the most expensive. To execute this correctly, the network relies on strict operational objectives. Keeping variance low ensures deliveries are predictable, and keeping inventory at a minimum stops the company from paying to store excess parts. On the warehouse floor, inventory splits into 2 categories. Cycle stock covers expected day-to-day demand, while safety stock acts as buffer against sudden spikes or supplier interruptions. Holding massive amounts of safety stock ensures the customer always gets their product on time, but it locks up millions of dollars in working capital on warehouse shelves. Running out of cash is a quick way to kill the company. Moving the EcoBlend from warehouses to the consumer requires choosing the right transport mode. Ocean freight is cheap and carbon efficient, but it is slow. While air freight is incredibly fast, utilizing it constantly eats right through the profit margin of the entire operation. Information flow makes coordinating this movement possible. This visualization maps data from the factory, trucks, and warehouse, linking into a unified dashboard. Without real-time visibility, the physical supply chain is blind. You cannot optimize without knowing exactly where inventory is. Knowing where the inventory is allows Logi to manage risk. She builds specific buffers and backup transit routes into the network, so a single port strike doesn't halt the entire operation. You can never eliminate risk entirely. Instead, the goal is to build resilience, specifically around the vulnerabilities that would directly break your customer promise. The final step in the design process happens after the delivery. Reverse logistics, how the company handles returns, must be mapped out from day one. Processing returns is usually viewed by executives as a guaranteed financial loss, but integrating refurbishing and recycling facilities recovers value from raw materials and captures immediate feedback on why products were sent back. Back in the boardroom, the executives need to see the bottom line. Logi connects these operational choices directly to the company's financial performance and overall contribution margin. This matrix compares the finalized network models, lowest cost, fastest, and balanced options, measured against cost, speed, and risk. The numbers are clear. The balanced option is the only design fulfilling the customer promise while keeping the product profitable. On launch day, the 90-day sprint moves from paper to reality. The EcoBlend travels from the manufacturer through the hubs and out to the consumer exactly on schedule. In the control room, the digital dashboards mirror that physical efficiency. The real-time data flows smoothly, confirming that the network is handling the volume without systemic errors. A resilient, profitable supply chain is never an accident. It is the result of intentional, systemic design that weighs every operational trade-off against the specific promise made to the customer.